Hello teachers, Irving Peralta here once again. We are going to go over step number 6. But first, let's go ahead and review. So we've already talked about the first 5 steps, and if you haven't had a chance to watch those videos, please click on the other links here on this website. Step number 1, teach students what to say when they don't know what to say. Step number 2, have students speak in complete sentences. Step number 3, randomize and rotate when calling on students. And step number 4, use total response signals. Now remember teachers that these first 4 steps, they are procedures. They are going to be you're going to need to teach them on a constant, consistent basis. This is what you do from day one. You will have that poster on your wall. You will have sentence stems ready. Students will feel comfortable knowing that if they don't know, they can look at that poster. You'll build that positive attention, knowing that the students they already know the expectation to be ready, because you are going to call on them eventually, because you're randomizing and you're rotating when you call on students, and they are free to use their hands and their body and stand or sit or whichever signal you're going to give them to let you know that they are ready to respond or move on to the next task. And then step number 5, well, this is where we move into the instructional. You use the next 3 steps when you are actually teaching a subject. The first 4 you can do any day, any time of the day, with any subject, any lesson. The next 3 you're going to plan out, and specifically you're going to use them in a lesson, such as step 5, use visuals and vocabulary strategies to support your objective. And today we're going to be talking, or in this video, we're going to be talking about step number 6, which is structure conversations. Now, we know conversation. We know what that is. We want the kids to talk, but we want them to talk in a structured way. In other words, we want to plan these activities with the purpose in mind for students to talk. We want them to have a conversation with their partner or share out loud. Those of you who are doing virtual teaching, we want the students to talk, not to have their microphone muted the whole time. We want to give them opportunities for them to unmute their mic and share what their thoughts, or type it out. Remember, don't forget about the power of the chat box. And also, if you have the ability to use emojis, that's another way that students can communicate with their partner or with you. I like the Brady Bunch approach to even just think about this for a second. I'm here on this screen. There's someone next to me when I'm in the AVL classroom. I don't need to unmute my mic. I can just simply turn to that partner, even though I don't see them, but I can speak to them and maybe repeat the objective or complete, the sentence stems, and use a complete sentence to answer the question. My mic might still be muted, but at least I have the opportunity to verbally practice that conversation. That's just an idea as well. So let's get into step number 6, structure conversation. For this step, we have our famous strategy called the QTriple Essay, which stands for question, signal, stem, share, and assess. In other words, I am going to give students during my lesson, this is something that I planned out, I'm going to give them a question. And when they are ready to answer it, I want them to give me a signal, whether it's a thumbs up, whether it is that you want them to put their pencil in the air, or touch their ears. We know that during COVID and during the mask era, we want to avoid touching our face, but you can still have them wave their hands in the air. You can still have them stand up. You can still have them, maybe stand on one foot for just a bit. Whatever the signal might be, just to get them moving. And then you have a sentence stem provided, because we want them to practice answering in complete sentences. We give them an opportunity to share, whether it's with a partner, whether it is just share out loud on their own as you randomize throughout the room. And then as they're sharing, whether they're in groups or by themselves, Then as a teacher, I want to assess by just listening to what they're saying, so I can see, okay, they got it. They know what, they know how to solve for the area, or they know the difference between area and perimeter. Okay, I'm listening to what I wanted to hear when it comes to the writing process or the plot of the story, whatever it is that you're teaching. This way, you have a question, you're giving them a signal, they have a sentence stem, they have a structured way for them to share, and then you are assessing them this whole time. Now, here's an example of what we usually would have done in a face-to-face training with teachers. So here's a question: why is it important for teachers to give students opportunities to talk during the lesson? So that's the question that I will pose. If you teachers are ready, I will ask you pencils in the air. Then I will give you a sentence stem. It is important for teachers to give students opportunities to talk during the lesson because, so that's the sentence stem that I want you to complete. So once you are ready with that, then I want you to share. And usually we will share with a partner in a group. We will randomly pick someone. Maybe the students who are wearing red are going to be the ones that are going to speak. Or those of you who are in AVL, maybe, okay, boys and girls, if you are, if you are in the kitchen doing your work, joining us today, go ahead. You're going to be the one that is going to be sharing today. Once again, I have the sentence stem for the students to use, and I am assessing them as they are sharing out with me. But I have a question for you that I want you to help me out in our chat box, because remember, don't forget about the power of the chat box. What are other ways that students can share now that we have social distancing in place? Give us some ideas there in the comments down below. Teachers, remember that there's many other ways for students to share, and we want them to have that conversation. We want them, yes, you can use a Jamboard for the students to type out their answer, or a Padlet if you're not familiar with those, or I'll put a link in the comments below so you can kind of look at how that works. But not only do we want them to type it, even in just the chat box, but we want them to also read it out loud. We want them to have structured conversation. You know, one of the things that we presented during the summer that a lot of people gave us some good feedback was this no prep approach. Whether you're face-to-face or you're in a virtual setting, set a timer. Maybe every 8 minutes or every 10 minutes for you to stop the class and just say, boys and girls, repeat what I just said. Or Johnny, unmute your mic, go ahead and repeat after me. Or simply just say, okay, all of the boys, go ahead and mute your mic, and I want you to say what, or give me, the definition to the word such and such. Whatever it is, we want the students to talk. We want them to have a structured conversation. We don't just simply want to say, just put a question out there and hope that someone is going to unmute their mic and participate. No, we want to specifically call some students and let them know, hey, go ahead. It's okay to unmute your mic. It's okay to even say, I don't know. May I have some more time? We want to simply every 8 or 10 minutes, just simply even type or draw or say it in your own words, or always reflect back or refer back to the objective. Why? Because I want them to hold them accountable and always to review our goal. So this is just a simple no prep approach. We also have provided for you the say something cards. Maybe this is a good starter because you're trying to find ways to get the students to talk. So in this website, you can find the links to the Say Something cards in English and Say Something cards in Spanish. And these are the ones that you will have, and you just cut them up, put them in a little ring, and just simply, okay, let's see, today I want, all right, let's see, Vanessa, go ahead and unmute your mic. I want you to share with us, maybe the answer might also be blank because, so go ahead and complete that sentence. Or, John, my experience with area is what? or I would compare blank. So these are just some good sentence starters so that you can have those conversations with students. So here's the other. So the first three that I showed you is assessing prior knowledge, make a comment, elaborate, justifying, summarize, and then sharing. I like the sharing one because it has a lot of just simply the student's point of view. So these are available there for you in this website. Here's another activity that you can also use. This is called the Uncover the Picture. Again, this is a planned out, structured conversation activity where you just simply begin to uncover a picture little by little. So you ask the students, what do you see? Where could this be? And so students use the sentence stems. I see, I notice. It's significant that blank because I'm wondering blank because. And so what do? The kid's already trying to figure this out. Then you uncover it again. Different sentence stems or the same sentence stems, but you're continuing to ask the students to wonder, to think, to imagine. Here we do have the different sentence stems, like I was surprised by, or I thought, a physical change. So now we are embedding even our science here. And finally, you uncover it all. And again, I was surprised. You use the sentence stems on the side. I thought. Again, another idea for a structured conversation. Listen, if you want your students to talk in your AVL or even just in your face-to-face classroom, put a picture of something that is trending right now. Put a picture of Minecraft, or put a picture of some superhero, or put a picture of a sports team. Put a picture of something that can get them to begin to talk and have a conversation, a meaningful conversation. And if you are interested in any other activity, or maybe you have some other ideas of any of these activities, please make sure that you comment down below and let us know. If you're familiar with depth and complexity, this will be where I would include the 11 icons of depth and complexity so that I can help my students to be able to have those meaningful conversations, because depth and complexity goes into details, it goes into big idea, it goes into patterns and trends. And you saw several of the icons that I've used during the presentation. Ask your advanced academic specialist for the icons and how to embed those in your lessons. A lot of people think that depth and complexity is just for the GT students or for the cluster class, but no, it's for everyone. Anyone who wants to have the students to speak, you can definitely use them. And you can also go here to this website. There's a tab up there that says GT. Click on it and you will see an introduction to the 11 icons. So hey, this is step number 6. Let's get the students to talk. I mean, just think about it. Just imagine you're building this language rich classroom where the students are beginning to feel comfortable, or are continuing to feel comfortable, that if they don't know, it's okay. Step 1 is I'll help you. If you don't know the answer, you can always look at the poster and ask for help. You're already helping them by giving them a sentence stems, and they can at least feel comfortable telling you what the sentence stem says, and maybe something clicks that says, yes, this is exactly what I wanted to say. You are randomizing. You are giving them a signal for them to let you know that they are ready to go. You're also using visuals and vocabulary, so they're making those connections. And now you're planning out a structured conversation so they can not just simply sit and listen and listen and listen, because teachers, there needs to be a balance of taking in information, processing it, and then spilling it out and sharing it with somebody else. So this is step number 6. If you're ready for the last steps, I'll see you there.